Hello everyone, my name is Ava and I'm here with my dad Ali and my brother Milad, and I'm going to be discussing an artifact that I'm most proud about for my BIS 499 class, or my capstone project. I can just take the camera from you. Alright, so this project was created with me, Mia Harris, Chancellor Alvarez, Austin Bremer, and Riley Ambero. These were classmates of mine from BIS 315, or my Understanding Statistics class, and we were assigned to do a project about policy. The professor was Shauna Carlisle, and this was last quarter, or winter quarter 2020. Title of the project is University of Washington Bothell Campus Undergraduate Students Implement New Strategies for Future Presidential Election Voting Processes and New Initiatives to Increase Civic Engagement in Washington State Students. So this project, we gathered our own data, and we actually used data from our neighbors, friends. It's what's called in statistics a convenience sample. So we used people that we're most close to gain all the necessary information for this project. I personally went to a group in Sammamish, a Facebook group called Sammamish Say Anything, and used information from there. And they were asked to take a survey, about a 5-minute survey, about what their voting habits are like, if they've voted in past primary elections before for presidential elections, if they're currently active within the local cycle, if they are a Democrat, Republican, and who they plan to vote for in the future. So we had different sections that we were all assigned to, and this was the proposal, which was assigned to one of my fellow classmates. It was mostly about what questions we asked them, and the null hypotheses. There's no significant difference between degree level and age, so we tried to find if there was a difference between the questions we asked them about each individual independent variables and dependent variables, and we tested them using the software analysis package called SPSS, which is typically used for all statistics classes. We did a data source, so we gathered our analyses from 97 people, and this was asking them questions such as their income, sex, level of education, and their age range, and basically what I'd said previously, as in if they voted in previous primary elections. We had our measures, which were which were our the ranges and answers that we had for each question that we asked them. And then we had our analysis strategy. So this is how we analyzed our specific areas of field work, and these were actually our results. And we found that there was actually a decent amount of there was a significant difference between people who voted for the Democratic Party and people who affiliated with the Republican Party, and between their degree level and who they were planning on voting for. Actually, it's very interesting. So we used a chi-score test, a Spearman test, a Pearson's test, and a regression analysis to understand how these relationships worked. And I am most particularly proud of this artifact in particular because it showed us that collaboration is crucial to getting a project done, and this was done over the course of about an entire quarter, actually. And this was between 5 people, so the work was pretty hefty, but we got it done. And we have the discussion, which I personally did, And yeah, so it shows I've never actually done a class like this before, and I haven't taken a math class since I was in high school, so this is really interesting. Taking a class that was basically math based, and I found that I'm super interested in this field of work, and I would definitely do something like this again. So do you have any questions?
Has the COVID-19 affected your research?
This was before, this was last quarter, so COVID-19 had no effect on the research.
Oh.
You had any questions?
What did you find from your results?
So basically what I had just described, so there was a significant difference between, let's see here.
What was the difference?
Results. So there was a significant difference between people who voted for, or people who had higher level degrees and people who voted for, or part of different political parties. So we said that people who voted for Democratic parties would be more likely to have like a higher level of education, and that was true. And there was no significant difference between sex identification and age, and that was true. There was a significant difference between party affiliation and age, actually. We found that people who were younger and people who were more educated were more likely to vote for the Democrats. And between income and age, we found that people who had lower income were more likely to vote for the Republican Party and more likely to be not politically active. So, yeah. Any more questions?
No.
Great. So this concludes my project. Thank you for listening.